Hi friends, welcome back to Pioneer Health Homestead. Today I'm going to show you how to make a soothing herbal burn salve. This recipe is a staple in our natural first aid kit. It's great for minor burns, sunburns, and even skin irritations. And it's made with ingredients you probably already have on hand. Be sure to check out the full blog post linked below for written instructions. This is the salve I reach for every time someone touches a hot pan, gets a little sunburn, or scrapes their skin. The herbs I use have natural anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties, and the olive oil and beeswax help protect and moisturize the skin. It's gentle enough for younger children and makes a wonderful addition to your medicine cabinet or first aid kit. For this recipe, I'm using 4 of my favorite healing herbs: calendula, comfrey, plantain, and St. John's wort. If you have access to fresh St. John's wort, that's even better. Today I'm using dried because my St. John's wort has not fully come in yet. So I'm going to infuse them into olive oil, which is a gentle skin-loving carrier oil. You'll also need beeswax to thicken it. I'm choosing to use lavender essential oil into this recipe today because it helps reduce pain, speeds up healing, and can even support scar prevention when used early enough. My first herb is plantain, not the banana, but the common yard herb. You might have it growing just outside your door. Plantain is amazing for drawing out heat and calming inflammation. It's one of my favorite go-to herbs for skin irritation, bug bites, and small burns. I even use it in my drawing salve. Next is comfrey leaf. This herb supports tissue repair and helps the skin regenerate. It's rich in a compound called allantoin, which encourages new skin cell growth and helps reduce the chance of scarring. I only use comfrey on clean wounds or burns since it works fast and helps the skin close up. Then I'm also using calendula. Calendula flowers are so soothing and gentle on the skin. Most people probably know this already, but they're anti-inflammatory and help reduce redness, swelling, and irritation. It's also known to support the healing process in a really calm, nourishing way. Calendula is always in my herbal medicine stash. And finally, I'm using St. John's wort. Today I'm using dry, but ultimately fresh will be best. But I would recommend that you let it wilt for a day or so because you want to have the least amount of water content in your oil. So it's wonderful for burns because it supports nerve healing and calms that deep skin discomfort that often comes with minor burns or sunburns. It also brings antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory support to the salve. Today I'm going to be making a heat-infused herbal oil with these herbs. To make the herb-infused oil, I'm combining 2 tablespoons of each of the herb into a mason jar, and then I'm going to cover it with olive oil. The recipe is for about a cup, but my kids distracted me, and you'll notice I did probably about 2 cups, which is okay. Just save the rest for later. I usually add a bit extra anyways, since the herbs will soak it up. You can use the solar method and let it sit in a sunny window for 3 to 4 weeks if you prefer, and if you have enough forethought to do so. But I prefer the heat infusion method as that's normally not how I operate. I use a double boiler and I let it warm gently for about 8 to 10 hours, or longer if I can. Once your oil is ready, strain out the herbs using fine mesh strainer and cheesecloth. You'll want a full cup of finished oil at least. Add that to a small saucepan or double boiler and melt in 1 ounce of beeswax for every 1 cup of oil that you are using. You're going to heat it slowly. You do not want high heat on this. And if you want a softer salve, use a little less beeswax. Once the mixture is melted thoroughly, take the top part of your double boiler off and place it on the towel to soak up any of that condensation steam water from the bottom side, because you do not want water to infiltrate your salve. It will cause it to spoil really quickly. Once the oil is infused with all those beautiful herbs, I like to stir in a few drops of lavender essential oil before pouring it into the tins and after the mixture has cooled slightly. It's not just for calming scent, but because lavender is one of the best essential oils for burns, it's naturally anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and soothing to the skin. Then you're going to pour it into a clean tins or jars and let it cool to room temperature. When it's time to use your herbal burn salve, you're going to want to make sure that you have rinsed the burned or irritated skin gently with cool water and soap as needed. Pat it dry and then apply a thin layer of the salve. You can cover it with a nonstick bandage or sterile gauze if needed. Make sure to keep your salve in a cool, dry place out of direct sunlight, and it should last 6 to 12 months. This salve is only meant for minor, everyday burns and skin irritations. If you're dealing with 2nd or 3rd degree burns, large areas, or signs of infection, please seek medical care. Herbal remedies are powerful, but they're not always a replacement for professional medical advice when it's truly needed. I hope this video gives you the confidence to make your own herbal burn salve at home. It's one of those simple things that brings a lot of comfort in the moment. You can find the full recipe and written instructions on the blog. Just check the link below in the video description box. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my Boo Boo Salve video next. It's another must-have natural remedy for families, especially with little ones, with all the cuts and scrapes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.